Chinese companies are gaining an unfair advantage with the state's backing, according to PBFD's China Economic and Security Review Commission's 2012 report to Congress. Released yesterday, the federally mandated annual assessment of Sino-American relations and the associated national security implications maintains that Chinese actors are the world's most active and persistent perpetrators of economic espionage, which has created a growing and persistent threat to U.S. economic security. While the Commission's report covers a range of issues, there appears to be particular concern over China's increasingly creative and resourceful cyber spying, which could also affect the U.S. military's readiness and ability to operate. Although most China-based activity observed over the past year relied on basic and straightforward techniques, a series of new developments suggest Chinese exploitation capabilities are improving significantly, the report says. Irrespective of sophistication, the volume of exploitation attempts yielded enough successful breaches to make China the most threatening actor in cyberspace. Following the orders, though the Commission says it is unclear whether the Chinese state directs all of this activity, the theft of industrial secrets through cyber espionage is apparently Chinese state policy, as the state controls up to 50% of the Chinese economy, and designates 7 so-called strategic industries, including armaments, power generation and distribution, oil and petrochemicals, telecom, coal, civil aviation, and shipping. The Commission believes cyber attacks from China targeting these industries have a particularly high likelihood of state sponsorship. Some incursions have been particularly effective. Deliberate targeting by Chinese hackers in 2009 totally compromised 6 to 8 subcontractors working on the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter program, according to Lockheed Martin LMT officials. The program's 3 prime contractors, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman NOC and B Systems Bach, were repeatedly targeted by hackers identified by reports as Chinese. And just last month, Cisco Nasdaq CSCN released excerpts from a confidential report regarding patent infringement by Huawei, a Chinese competitor. One reads, the exactness of the comments and spacing in an evaluated Huawei product not only indicate that Huawei has access to the Cisco code but that the Cisco code was electronically copied and inserted. Most companies, and countries, are too willing to turn a blind eye to this and just not acknowledge it. It's too politically fraught. Gerald Kolthoff, the former U.S. counterintelligence agent and the current president and CEO of strategic security firm Speartip, told me recently. But civilian entities are finally waking up to the fact that businesses don't play nice. Whether that's an insider that didn't receive the promotion or bonus they wanted, or a competitor overseas, there are no rules of engagement. Hard answers difficult to get. A 2012 study from Akamai Technologies Nasdaq:BKAM cited by the Commission claims that 16% of Internet attack traffic originates in China, more than any other country in the world. And, as former Vice Chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff James Cartwright testified earlier this year, clear paths back into servers and other mechanical devices inside of the Chinese sovereign domain remain a constant problem for us. Dr. Craig Leibovitz, co-founder and CEO of Deepfield Networks and a former Microsoft research scientist, says, his is not hype. There are real issues here, he tells me. Large sections of the North American Internet are scanned multiple times a day from boxes overseas. Usually, the scanning is a handful of packets, i.e., negligible traffic looking for commonly exploitable services. Read more. http://www.minyanphil.com/sectors/technology/articles/China Economic Espionage Cyber/11/15/2012/ID/45883 number sign 9ZZ2CKK3NCP6